And similar to Taylor, I also, with my most time-consuming responsibilities, such as my fraternity is a great example, before even thinking about running, I made sure I had their support so that they knew that my time constraints would be what it was. And so I knew that all my responsibilities were aware of what I was doing and were understanding of it, so I could devote as much time to this as possible. So similar to Taylor. And moving forward, going into the senior year, I think both of us are lucky enough. She mentioned classes. We even have our academic schedules where it won't be too academic demanding for us. So this next senior year for us will probably be barely seniors in terms of hours, because we want to devote as much time to students as possible, because this is our number one house.
Okay, and Box for like 2 minutes to respond.
Okay, well, same with us. We've had that question asked a lot, with us being engineers and both athletes. How are you going to have time to do this? We both have personally talked to our coaches before we even decided to run, and they're both on board with it. They're on board with us being very lenient with scheduling and everything like that in order for us to make time with this. Us being engineers, we're getting through the hardest semester right now, the junior year. After this, it's smooth sailing. Tony, how many hours are you in? 12? 12 hours. I'll be in maybe 14 or something. I'm taking light loads. We can be able to devote all of our time. I love being busy. I do best when I have things to do all day, repetitively going. And I want to do that. Although, I mean, I'll still have free time because I'll be quitting my, I'll be resigning, let's go. Resigning from intramural, so I'll have more time to devote to this. And also, I will no longer hold a position on, as Vice President of Kappa Sigma after, 2 weeks from now? So I'll be stepping down from there, so I'll be devoting all of my time and energy to this. It's something we're so passionate about, and we just can't wait to devote all of our free time into helping out the campus. You know that?
Yeah. So I want to add on to that. I want to say that as a football player, we are the most likely to be like normal students because of our time, because we practice in the morning. We're only games on Saturday, practice on Sunday, and other than that, we're just on a normal schedule as everybody else. And along with that, with the engineering, as well as being athletes to be this, it doesn't talk about the drive that we have to be where we're at. You don't get where we're at in this point of junior year without drive and the passion that we have to do what we do. And words can't even express the drive that we would have for this campus. Sleepless nights, whatever it takes. That's what we have, and we have drive. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. For the next question for both tickets, and we'll begin with David and Tony this time. And the question reads, with the amount of growth Mercer has been having, mainly older students are being forgotten about sometimes. How do you plan on working with the administration on issues such as overcrowding of classrooms and overcrowding of current housing? You guys have 2 minutes, beginning now.
Well, yeah, obviously, housing is a big issue right now. People are scrambling and trying to figure out where they're going to live next year because they don't know. And that's a problem. We need more housing around here. I know they're building lofts, but lofts are expensive. Not everybody really wants to live in lofts. And there's not really that many options. It's difficult to do because there's nothing we can do within the next year or to really fix the problem of housing. But what we can do is work with campus to tell them where the best places to have housing, the best kind of housing, what the people want, so they can develop a plan and get it in action in the next year. And so in the future, they will have the housing and the facilities needed. I think that's about it.
All right, thank you. Harrison and Jolly, I'll ask do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, no, we got it.
Okay,
We're good.
thank you. You guys have 2 minutes, beginning now.
Okay, so my opponent mentioned lofts, but there's not only lofts coming, there's also a new residence hall that'll be built out by Auxiliary Services. So in our meeting with Kim Boyer, he mentioned that that was coming and would be probably, they would begin that, I think he said, the next school year, this coming school year. So more housing is coming, most definitely, and it's on-campus housing. It'll be accessible to students. So the housing problem is going to be solved soon. Our biggest role, we think, is since there's more housing on the way, we just want to, again, make sure the students' interests are served. Because those who were there, remember the disaster that was Cruz Plaza when that construction was going on. Well, there's a lot of construction like that coming to campus. So we know the campus is growing, but as long as we put you guys as the number one priority and continue to make sure your feedback is being accessed by us as much as possible, we're going to make sure that this is handled as well as it was with the Cruise Plaza. So now about academics.
Recently, I led the President Council, which was a group of students chosen by the academic deans, and classroom sizes and classroom availability has been a real issue. Apparently, a bunch of education majors have to take classes at night because there aren't enough classrooms during the day in Stetson. We think that this is something that engaging the administration can help. We think that finding better uses for class sizes, maybe reinstalling more at the 10 o'clock hour or something, advocating for students for what they want and what they need. If you see a solution that we don't see, like, feel free to come to us, but that's something that's definitely on our radar. It's not being forgotten. I don't like having 40-person classrooms, class sizes. I hate Mercer for a reason.
And on that note, that's kind of our whole idea. The idea to join the team is to make the campus feel small. You came here because the campus felt small, so we want to be the mediator to connect you all and have a tight-knit, united student body. So that's the big idea right there.
Thank you. And Victoria will take the next question.
Okay, this is one that was sent in by a student. It's actually going to the Harrison Jolly ticket. Particularly to Senator Harrison. While you were on the financial committee, you managed to budget that's currently empty within a month and a half remaining of the semester. How do you respond to that?
Okay, so I might need to turn the microphone on. That might be a good way to respond to. So the way it works is, as I mentioned, the student activities fee. So one thing to remember is this is your money we're dealing with. And I know time has been an issue proposed by my opponent. And what really happened is we had groups, we had organizations that were applying for money in September that still have yet to go on conferences. So this idea of timing, I mean, it's first come, first considered. It says that in our Constitution. So the first people that came to us, regardless of when the conference was first considered. So groups that are just now coming to us in March and April that have upcoming conferences could have came back in September like many of other groups did. So yes, it's not our job to conserve the money because that's your money. That's money you pay towards the tuition. So it's our job to just allocate it as best we see fit that makes sure the entire student body is benefiting. So things like competitions that make Mercer look good, presentations, educational stuff where they bring things back to campus and benefit campus. The whole idea is that the entire student body is being served because it is the entire student body's money. And as timing is concerned, again, groups that haven't even gone on conferences yet apply in September. So there's not much we can do about that.
Our organizations are also doing bigger and better things than ever possible. We had MPOT go to the Clinton Global Initiative, and different mock trial events are going to bigger and better competitions than ever before. Mercer's growing in more ways than just size. We're growing in recognition nationally, internationally. I think this is something that has to be recognized when you have a budget of $70,000 to allocate to all our student organizations. So I think it's really a testament not to necessarily our students to get there the faster, but our organizations who are really doing amazing things on campus and in the national sphere. So.
All right, thank you. This next question is for the Boggs and Perella ticket. And it's written by one of our students. For each SJA president and vice president, average they spend over 20 hours a week committed to SJA activities. Since both of you guys are athletes, how are you going to manage to give SJA the time it deserves and at the same time continue to be athletes? You guys have 2 minutes now.
Well, as we've already stated earlier, we've already considered all this. This is already known knowledge to all of us. We wouldn't do this if we knew that we couldn't do it. This isn't something that can't be done. This is something that can be done because we have the drive, as I said earlier. It's done because we have, like, with passion, with everything else, it's not just something that, just because there's time hasn't been taken up, where you have to relocate your time to something else, that it's something that's not worth it. This is something that's worth it to run a student body as good as this one. It's completely worth it. And David has something for this.
Like we said, we're on board with our coaches. They know they're going to be flexible with us when it comes to meetings. If we have to miss practices like once a week because we have something to go to every week for SJA as president, that's all right with them. We told them that this is something we want to do, and they're on board with it. We're aware that it's going to take a lot of time, and we're ready for it. We're completely ready to take on the responsibility and do a fantastic job at it. it may mean that sometimes during the week, I have to do all the presidential stuff and do homework on Friday nights. I'm all right with that. I'm all right with spending all my time devoting it to the campus, to being president, and to athletics. Social life at this time can take a wayside if needed. I think the way we plan on running the campaign will leave us time to do as we will for the most part, but we're not even concerned the fact of will or will we not be able to handle it, because we've already planned it all out and we know we can do a great job.
All right, thank you. And now Amanda's going to ask a question for a little curveball.
Okay. No, yeah. This had no prior planning for them. They did not know about this. We're going to give them an opportunity to directly ask a question to the other ticket. Okay, decorum, please. All right, so both tickets will have 30 seconds? All right, both tickets will have 30 seconds to come up with a question, one question to the other ticket. And then after those 30 seconds, Boggs and Perella will ask their first question to Harrison and Jolly. Harrison and Jolly will have 2 minutes to respond to that question, and you will also take your turn and ask a question to our Boggs and Perella ticket, and you will also have 2 minutes to respond to that question. Okay? And your 30 seconds start now.
So let's give them a round of applause for being awesome.
Yes, that was my question. I know.
All right, 30 seconds is up. All right. All right, everybody, if you could quiet down a little bit, please. We will start.